Fishing has always been simple. A rod, a reel, a hook, a little patience, and maybe some luck. For generations, that is what it was all about. Long days on the water, never knowing when the bite would come, and being just fine with that. The mystery was part of the fun. The patience was part of the reward. The quiet moments made the loud splashes unforgettable. But something has changed. Something big. A technology called Livescope. A technology called Livescope has entered the fishing world, and it's not just a little upgrade, it's a revolution. A lot of people call it the biggest thing to ever hit fishing. Some call it the future, others call it the end of real fishing. And a growing number of people, they're calling it flat out cheating. So today we're going to talk about it, what Livescope is, how it works, why so many people love it, why so many people hate it, and whether it's truly fishing or just a video game on the water. By the end of this video, you'll understand why Livescope is the most controversial thing happening in fishing. To really understand why Livescope is shaking things up, we've got to look back at where fishing technology came from. Let's rewind the clock. In the 1950s and 60s, sonar started to make its way into fishing boats. Early flashers gave you a rough idea of what was below you, but nothing fancy. Then came 2D sonar, then side scan. Every time something new came out, people screamed, "That's cheating, that's unfair, that's not fishing." I remember when side scan first became popular. You'd see whole schools of fish off to the side of the boat, and people thought it ruined the game. Fast forward a few years, and now side scan is just part of the standard gear. Nobody blinks twice at it. So the big question is, will Livescope follow the same path? Will it go from controversial to normal? Or is this one step too far? So what exactly is Livescope? Let's break it down. Livescope is forward-facing sonar. Instead of showing you what's directly under the boat like traditional sonar, it shows you what's in front of you in real time. You can actually watch fish swim. You can see the tails flick, you can see your lure drop through the water, and you can watch a bass swim right up to it, check it out, and decide to bite or not. It's like X-ray vision for fishing. Imagine playing a video game where the fish are real, the water is real, but the screen in front of you is telling you everything you need to know. That's Livescope. Ice fishermen are drilling holes in the ice, staring at their screens, and literally calling their shots. Now let's talk about why so many anglers love Livescope. Because the truth is, there are some very real positives. For the first time ever, anglers can see how fish actually behave underwater. You find out real quick how many fish look at your bait and don't bite. You realize just how many lures don't work the way you think they do. It teaches you things that no book, no article, no fishing buddy could ever teach you. It's exciting. It's flat out fun to watch a fish in real time instead of waiting hours for something to happen. You're seeing action constantly. Every movement, every follow, every strike, it's addicting. Some say it makes fishing more interactive, more thrilling, almost like turning it into a video game. It's effective. Let's not dance around it. People love catching fish. Livescope helps you catch more fish, period. It helps kids stay interested. It helps beginners avoid frustration. And it helps seasoned anglers stack up the numbers. Technology has always been part of fishing. Remember when trolling motors came out? People cried foul. Remember when braided line hit the scene? Same thing. Even fluorocarbon got hate. Now, all of those are standard. Some anglers argue Livescope is just the next step in a long line of progress. But on the other side of the coin, there's a whole army of people who absolutely hate Livescope, and their reasons are strong. Old school anglers say fishing is supposed to be about the hunt, the mystery, the patience. They say Livescope removes that. It's no longer about fishing. It's about chasing dots on a screen. They argue it takes away the soul of fishing, that it turns a peaceful tradition into a video game. There are also biological concerns. With Livescope, you can target trophy fish over and over. You can follow one bass around the lake all day until it finally bites. You can spot schools of crappie and clean them out. Some biologists worry this is putting way too much pressure on fisheries. If every angler can find every fish, what happens to the resource long term? Then there's the money issue. A full Livescope setup can cost thousands of dollars. Some people say tournaments aren't fair anymore. If you don't have Livescope, don't even bother showing up. It's creating a gap between the haves and the have-nots. I've heard stories of old school crappie guides quitting because clients demand Livescope trips. They say, if you're not using it, I'll hire someone else who is. That changes the whole business model. And here's the big question. If you can stalk one fish, watch it react, and keep dropping baits on its nose until it finally eats, is that skill or is that technology doing all the work for you? Nowhere is the debate louder than in tournaments. Livescope is dominating the competitive scene. There have been tournaments where the entire top 10 used Livescope. Everyone else, they didn't stand a chance. That leads to a lot of frustration, a lot of heated arguments, and even calls to ban it. Some circuits have already experimented with rules against forward-facing sonar. Others say banning it is impossible because sponsors and money are too involved. After all, companies sell these units for thousands of dollars. Tournament organizations love those sponsorship dollars. That's a conflict of interest right there. But the tension is real. When a pro wins a tournament with Livescope, the comment section explodes. Was it skill or was it the screen? Did the angler win or did the technology win? So where do we go from here? Technology never goes backwards. Once something exists, it doesn't disappear. That means LiveScope isn't going anywhere. The real question is, how do we deal with it? Some predict that fishing will split into two worlds. On one side, traditionalists who want nothing to do with LiveScope. On the other, tech-driven anglers who embrace it completely. We might even see two different tournament categories in the future, one with forward-facing sonar, one without. Almost like two different sports. And here's something to think about. If LiveScope is here now, what comes next? Augmented reality fishing glasses, drones that scan the entire lakes, artificial intelligent lures that swim themselves? Sounds crazy, but so did LiveScope a decade ago. So now I ask you, is LiveScope the evolution of fishing or the death of it? Is it skill or is it cheating? Drop your take in the comments below. I want to hear from the old school anglers, the new school LiveScope warriors, and everybody in between. Smash the like button if you've ever wet a line, and subscribe if you want more debates, stories, and deep dives into the fishing world. Fishing has always been man versus fish, but now maybe it's man plus machine versus fish. The only question is, do we still like those odds? Yeah, guys, I do not know. I have used LiveScope. I don't personally own LiveScope right now, but I've used it quite a few times, and tell you what, it is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. It helps a lot with ice fishing. It definitely is nice to have on the ice because you're not as mobile as you are in a boat. Like, you have to put in a lot of work just to get set up, especially if it's, you got your shanty and everything set up because you're freezing, and you're not wasting your time. Like, if you get a couple flashes on your flasher, there's a couple fish there, but you don't really know how many. But if you have LiveScope, you can see pretty good distance. You kind of know where the fish are, and then you know where to drill your next hole. So I tend to kind of be pro LiveScope when it comes to ice fishing. Now, as far as traditional fishing from a boat, I honestly do not like it. It takes away all the guessing game. It completely takes away the guessing game, which for me is like literally 90% of the fun is trying to figure out what the fish are doing, where they are, what they're feeding on, and where they're feeding, where they're staging. I love that. Now, if you have LiveScope, you can literally, it's all done for you. You just drop it down, look around, scan around, find the fish. To me, that takes zero skill. And that's why I don't like it. That's why I don't like it with the tournaments, because these tournaments now have people who would never be fishing these tournaments if they didn't have LiveScope. I'm sorry, but a lot of these LiveScope anglers cannot freaking fish. They cannot fish without it. And that is where it closes that gap between someone who is a very good fisherman and someone who freaking sucks. It puts them, that LiveScope will put them right there with them. And I do not like that. I think it's silly. Do I think it should be banned? I don't know if it should be banned, but I do like the idea of there being two different kinds of tournament trails where one you're allowed, one you're not allowed. Because, and again, though, any jamoke could go get LiveScope and become good at fishing. That's what I don't like about it, is it used to be a lot of hard work to be a professional angler, which I'm sure it's still a lot of hard work. But honestly, I mean, you could just go, if you enter some local tournaments where nobody else have LiveScope, you're going to start winning instantly. And then from there, your career's going to progress. And, yeah, I don't know. I kind of hate it. Maybe I'm getting old. I'm 36 years old now, and I kind of do not like how the technology just keeps progressing so fast now. Like, when I was younger, the progression was slow. Now it is absolutely insane. I'm not just talking about fishing. I'm talking about just tech in general. I feel like it's moving way too fast. Maybe that's me just being old now, but I like things to be the way they were, especially with fishing. Let me just go have a peaceful day of fishing. I don't want to have all these damn screens I'm staring at. I already have enough with the filming. I don't want to have to get so dependent on LiveScope that I can't even fish without it, which I feel like a lot of these anglers are. I've seen it firsthand. Some of my buddies got way into LiveScope, and they will not fish without it now. They don't even want to go try to figure out a body of water unless they have LiveScope. It's kind of, for me, it takes away all the fun. If you're that dependent on the LiveScope to catch fish, I mean, are you really even catching the fish at that point? But all right, guys, that is all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please smash the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll see you next time.